Hello class, excuse me. If you are watching this video, then that means I am out sick today. We are going to keep moving and working on our Monster Mass project. Now, this is going to be probably our final project grade in the class, so we want to make sure we're doing a really good job paying attention to this video. For this project, we'll be doing some things similar to what we have been doing with the combining of images. Now, it's going to be pretty important to note that you probably will mess up at some point today. Please rely on the Edit Undo tool. If you mess up, simply click Edit Undo to get back to a state where you feel comfortable with what you're doing and try again. It's also important to note that our neighbors are very good resources for this project, so feel free to ask the people around you for help in what you're creating. So, without further ado, Monster Mass. We're going to create a monster of an image. We're going to do this by combining features from multiple different people, celebrities, into one photo. Now, one important thing to note is that we will not be able to use pictures of people that we know. It will be strictly celebrities. I often get asked, can I use animated pictures? No, you cannot. It has to be real pictures of real people. Okay? So, for this project, we're going to be combining 5 different features together. Eyes, nose, mouth, hair, ears, eyebrows. Really, what you choose is up to you. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go out to Google and you want to search for 5 different celebrities. And you also have to pick, so I've picked Johnny Depp here. You have to pick what feature you want from each person. One will have to be a background image, and then the rest will be features like a nose or eyes or ears. Okay, so I'm going to choose this Johnny Depp down here as my background image. It's important to note for all of these pictures, we need to take into account how big they are because we want similarly sized images. And it's also important to note that black and white photos will not work with color photos. So stick to color photos, please. Also, make sure that the person in the image is facing directly forward. If they're facing off to the side, like this one over here, you won't get a good outcome when you combine it with another photo. So I'm going to take Johnny Depp here, click on his picture, and then I'll hit View Image like we learned yesterday. And I'll save this image as. You have a Photoshop folder that you would want to save it into. I'll just be saving onto my desktop. So this photo, I can do a File, Open, and go retrieve Johnny Depp's picture. Alright, so our background photo is in. My second celebrity, I chose Steph Curry. Alright. Now it's important to note I want to create or have an image around 1600 like my last one. So this one that's 350 by 254, even though he's looking right at us, wouldn't work very well because it's much, much smaller. Instead, let's choose one like this. It's 1200 by 800, much larger, much more suitable for what we're doing. So I click View Image once again, do a Save As. It also helps to rename these files so you know what they are. And I can go back to my document here, and I'm going to do a File, Place. I'll go out and search for my Steph Curry photo. Here it is. Click Place. And it's a little bit small, so I want to actually make this a bit bigger before I click that check mark. Okay. Now, what I need to do is I need to take my eraser tool, once again. Make sure you got a nice big size. And we want to erase everything other than what we're going to keep. At this point, you're going to need to decide what part of this person you want to put on top of Johnny Depp's picture. We're going to go with Steph Curry's eyes. So I'll take my eraser tool, and I'll start erasing all around until I just get about his face. Okay. Now it can be a little bit difficult to see what is going on with two different pictures, so I'm going to show you a quick little trick. Over here in the layers panel, there's this eyeball symbol next to each layer. Our curry layer, if I click the eyeball, it will turn on and off that layer. On our background photo, I can turn that on and off, and if I click off of the background photo, I just see the checkered background, making it much easier to go around and erase just everything but the eyes. Now, it's important to note before you continue erasing, make sure that you are selected on the correct layer. I want to be selected on my curry layer because that's what I'm working on. Now that I've got pretty much everything but the eyes, I'm going to go ahead and make my brush smaller, get a little bit closer. And once I'm about this point, I want to start zooming in. So I'll click my zoom tool. And I'll just click on my picture to make that zoom. And I'll go back to eraser. Now, once you get real up close to the eyes, you want to switch to a soft edge brush. Okay? It's going to help blend the two pictures and not make it look so foreign in the picture. Okay? You don't want it to look like it doesn't belong in the picture. So I'll keep going around, erasing. And if you mess up, once again, just hit the Edit Undo button and try again. Now you'll be able to determine just how close you want to get to the actual feature. Typically at this part, people say this looks freaky. It does. Alright, and so now we're left with just the eyes. Now, we can turn back on that background layer, and we see that obviously they're not in the right place. So, what we have to do next is go up and click our Move tool, right up here. This will allow us to click and move them around to the correct place. Let's zoom out a little bit and see how we did. Pretty interesting. Now, let's say the eyes that you wanted just were not quite the right angle, or maybe they're too small or too large. What do? Well, one thing you can do is if you zoom way out and you have your Move tool, you can hover right outside of one of these corners of the box surrounding the original image, and if you click and hold, you can drag to turn the eyes one way or another. You can also resize the image. So if you need the eyes to be closer together, I'll go to the far right box, and I'll simply move in and they'll get closer and closer together. Likewise, if you need them farther apart, or up and down, or what have you. So right now, since I was playing around with it, they're a little too close together. So I'll simply stretch it out a little bit. And maybe turn just a bit. And the first part of my monster mask is complete. When it's in the right place, simply click your green check mark. And then you'll want to go back out to Google and get another image for another piece to add to your photo. We want 5 different images total. Make sure that you are clicked on the correct layer always, otherwise you will erase something that you didn't want to. Once again, please rely heavily on the Edit Undo tool if you mess up or if you don't know what to do, and ask those around you for help. When you are finished with this, we are going to make sure that we can go back and save or that we can go back and edit it if we need to. So when you save at the end of the day, please click Save As. And make sure you're saving as a PSD or a Photoshop file. You can call it Monster Mask. That's all. Hopefully I will be back with you on Thursday. Good luck, and have questions for me if they arise on Thursday.